We have a special treat for you today. We have just finished 8 days of boondocking.
8 days.
Filming?
Yeah.
It looks like you're filming. That's good. Hi, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Kent, and we're Living Light RV.
We are grabbing life by the tail.
Yeah.
Alrighty. We have a special treat for you today. We have just finished 8 days of boondocking.
8 days.
Crazy. And traveling the whole time. So
Yes.
not just staying in one place. We learned a few things and we decided we want to share those things that we learned with you, because maybe you want to boondock for 8 days somewhere and you want to conserve power and water and heat.
Do you like boondocking?
I do like boondock. I
Why?
love boondocking, actually. It just gives you freedom. You can stay wherever you want. And just so you know, it is winter in Arizona and California, so
Yes.
it's been chilly. And I mean, coming from Canadians, it's really not that chilly. But
No, but it's winter.
it is winter.
And it's not comfortable if you do it wrong.
And a couple of nights we even had snow and below freezing temperatures. So
Yeah.
here's what we did to stay comfortable, to conserve power, conserve water,
Yeah.
conserve heat, and hopefully this will be helpful for you. How to do dishes while you're boondocking. And this is something that I actually Googled a lot when I was researching for Full-Time RV Life, and I could hardly find any videos on how to do dishes while you're boondocking and save as much water as possible. So basically I use just a little bit of soap and put just a touch of water. Oh, I guess I should turn my water pump on. Just a touch of water in here. And I get my cloth nice and soapy with hot soapy water. And then you're gonna wash the cleanest dishes first. And honestly, I'm a bit of a germaphobe or a germ freak, so I make sure that they're really clean. The soap that you use, your dish soap that you use, actually does a good job of cleaning the dishes and breaking down germs. So I leave them soapy for just while I do all the rest of the dishes. So they just sit in that sink soapy, and then I'll rinse them later. You may be wondering why I'm doing the dishes in a separate little bucket here instead of in my main sink. And the reason for that is every once in a while you will come up to a situation where you can dump your gray water in a designated area. We were actually at one campground and they had a place, a grate for gray water to be poured into. So it's nice if you can not have to put your gray water into your tanks, just because it can save space. So that's one reason, and we are currently at a rest stop, so this is going to work great for us. All right, so the dishes are all soapy in here, and now I'm just going to give them a quick rinse with hot water, because the hot water is what will help get rid of the soap. But again, you don't want to use very much water because you want to save it. You might notice I only have cutlery and our coffee mugs in here because we actually use paper plates. And I'll show you, they're just sitting up here. So while we're boondocking, we use the paper plates and plastic cups. So using paper plates really helps cut down on the number of dishes you have to do, which saves on water.
When you're boondocking and it's in cold weather, you can actually do that very well. We do have a furnace. The furnace works great. Lots of propane, but it does use battery power. So to mitigate that, we actually have a curtain that goes across. So this separates the front and the back, it makes it two different spaces, and the temperature difference can be very different now. And what we do for heating when we're boondocking is we use a Mr. Heater. This is a propane heating system that is safe. It uses 100% of the fuel that comes out of it. Even on low, it puts out 4,000 BTU. When we have this set up in the hallway while we're sleeping, this room is very nice, very warm, very comfortable. And it also keeps all of our systems and our pipes warm enough. So that's what we do to stay warm when you're boondocking and it's cold outside.
Right, another water conservation tip is washing your hands, and I find that using a liquid hand soap that is foaming wash works fabulously, because you can take your dry hands, you just need one pump, and because there's already water in that soap, it really lathers up nicely, so you can get a good clean hands without using any water from your tank. And do it quick until they don't feel slimy. And that's it. I hardly used any water to wash my hands.
Now the other thing that we do when we're boondocking is we conserve. So a lot of people will run a generator for as long as they need to. What we choose to do with our generator is we use it maybe 20 minutes in the morning, maybe 20 minutes in the evening, just to reset a few things and probably to make a coffee in the morning. And we don't overuse our generator. Why? Because we just would rather conserve than use that. But we will use it to make sure our batteries are topped up, to make sure our systems are charged up, and just to make life just a little bit more comfortable. But we use it as seldom as we can. We cook on the stove. We love it.
I love washing my face. First thing in the morning and the last thing at night. It was one of my treats of the day. Normally I use a good Norwex face cloth, actually made for washing your face, and I love it. It's like my favorite thing. But when we're boondocking, it takes a lot of water because first of all I like it warm, and it takes a lot of water to get it wet, rinse it out, get it wet, wash your face, rinse it out. It just takes too much. So when we're boondocking, I use these. Burt's Bees I find are the best ones. I just personally like them. You choose which ones you like, but they're just disposable, one-time use towelettes, and they smell lovely. This one smells like grapefruit, and they do a really good job of making your face feel clean. So waterless face washing is the way to go. So I had this blanket sitting underneath our bed, and it was really cold one night, and I'm like, it's so cold, we need to make a smaller space so we can keep it warmer. So I pulled out the blanket. I just did a quick basting stitch along the top. I stole the shower rod out of the shower area because we weren't going to use it while we're sleeping. And check this out. How great is that? And actually, there's a little hole over here, so we do this. Put the fish in here, and we put the curtain here. We figured it out. There you go. So it's not airtight, but it's enough to keep the bedroom area nice and warm. And who cares about this area? It can get as cold as it wants while we're sleeping. So awesome. The other area of Bessie that gets really, really cold is this door. Air just flies in here. It's so cold. So again, I stole the tension rod from our shower area. Normally this is used for hanging up bathing suits to dry. Again, I did a basting stitch along my Hudson's Bay blanket. I love our Canadiana. And at night time, I will just thread this onto here, stick it on here, like that. And you would be surprised at how much warmer. I don't know if you guys remember this from when we did the RV renovation, but we dyed the front curtains, and when we dyed them and washed them, they shrunk a little bit. So there's about this much space, okay, maybe this much space, it's going like this much. Anyway, there's enough for the air to get in there. So I grabbed my baby blanket. This thing is ancient. Kent calls it the ugly blanket. My mother made it, and even my mother calls it the ugly blanket. So it needs to be repaired and fixed. But I'll tell you what it's great for. It is great to put right here and push it right up against the window. And then when the curtains are closed around it, right here. So when the curtain closes around it, there's just that barrier that keeps it from getting cold. And Blizzard goes right here. Isn't that adorable? Use what you have and stay warm. Another place when you're sitting here relaxing and reading, the air can just fly into here as well. So I have just this extra blanket. It is a, I think it's called, oh, what's it called? Anyway, my friend sells them. They're from Turkey, Turkish cotton. And so I just go like this and just tuck this into here, and it creates a, what's in there? It just creates a little bit of an extra layer of protection to keep it a bit warmer in here, which is fabulous. Hey guys, I almost forgot to give you the best tip ever. So when you're preparing to boondock and you still have full hookups, pre-wash all your fruits and vegetables because that takes a lot of water to do that. And if you can, it's a good idea to prepare some meals ahead of time. So I'll do like soup or some pasta sauce, anything with raw meat. I'll try and do that ahead of time. So if you're dealing with chicken or bacon or whatever, because that also takes a lot of water to clean up afterwards. So if you can get all of that high water usage stuff done ahead of time, then you hit the road, you're good to go.
Hey, so 8 days of boondocking, but that doesn't mean that we didn't have water, or we didn't have sewer dump, or we didn't have showers.
Yeah, because you can do, say, well, for one example is we did some dry camping at Grand Canyon National Park at the campground.
Yeah.
There were no hookups, but there was a paid shower and a dump station.
Yes.
A free dump station, well, included with your admission or your admission.
Although I think you could just use it no matter
you could
what.
just use it. You know what? If you're at the Grand Canyon, just use the dump station. Is that Mather Campground?
There you go. I would.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, still we needed to dump and fill up our water, fresh water, that kind of thing. So anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Leave in the comments below if you boondock or wild camp or dry camp and why. What are your reasons for doing that? We would love to hear that from you. That would be really cool. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon because you will get notified every time we put out a new video. Normally we always do a Thursday video.
Yeah.
But lately we've been trying to up our game and doing a few extra videos as well. Some of those will be out on Sundays or maybe Monday or Tuesday. So hit the bell so you know when we're putting out a new video.
And be more prepared for boondocking and be comfortable.
That's right. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you next week.